in this job? I mean, it's not a job, like you don't get a salary.
See, for me, it's not a job. For me, it is a mission that I carry out. We don't work for money.
Student of the year 2 was shot there.
Student of the year 2 was shot recently there.
India is a diverse, beautiful country with a rich history. The beautiful desert to the west, the dense forests of the south, the wide plains in the east, and the towering mountains to the north. Nestled in the scenic hills of Mussoorie, Uttarakhand, is one of the most distinguished educational institutions of India, St. George's College, an institution that has been molding the minds of students since 1853. St. George is one of India's premier schools. To celebrate this iconic institution, please join me in welcoming a very prominent education evangelist of the country, Brother Tomy Varghese. Thank you for being here, Brother Tony.
Thank you. It's a pleasure having you.
And you were telling me backstage that this is the first time you're doing something like this, like a show.
Definitely in front of the cameras, first time.
So St. George's Principal, for those who may not know,
Yes.
and I know you have done many great things, that school, but one thing that will immediately connect to people is that student of the year 2 was shot there.
Student of the year 2 was shot recently there. In fact, St. George's has hosted so many movies. In fact, many more requests keep coming for shooting because it's an extremely beautiful campus. We are rated as one of the finest school campuses in India. So there are so many film producers who come looking for the venue. Unfortunately, being a boarding school, we do not allow that during the school hours. During the holidays, we definitely give them time to.
So that basketball court scene.
Yes.
You know, and I think a couple of other common areas of the school.
We have fantastic facilities and beautiful scenic.
It's a 166-year-old institution.
Yes.
How did it come about?
In fact, the institution is a pre-independent institution established in the year 1853, and it was originally managed by the Capuchin friars, and after 40 years of time, it was handed over to the Patrician brothers, the brothers of St. Patrick, whose headquarters is in Ireland, and brothers came to India in the year 1857, and then brothers took up the first school in Chennai, and then second school we picked up St. George's College. From 1894 onwards, the brothers are managing the institution.
So this is the Brothers of St. Patrick, Ireland, and then they have an India branch, and So how many schools do you guys?
We have the brothers manage more than 30 schools in India.
Wow.
The prominent ones being St. George's, St. Joseph's Dehradun, Mount St. Mary's Delhi. Going down to south in Chennai, we have St. Michael's, St. Patrick's, and in Kerala, we have St. Patrick's Academy, Angamali, where I was principal for 5 years, and always remains my first love there, where I started off as a principal. Yes, and from there I came off to St. George's, Mussoorie in the year 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are people scared of you, like a principal's office, if someone calls you?
Not at all scared. I'm a very approachable principal, and the children love me. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I always give credit to the students for making me who I am.
Yeah.
In fact, I had a very humble beginning. I left home at a very young age of 15 after my class 10, joined the brothers, and then it was a long journey. Now it's 30 years I've completed my journey.
And what you were telling me earlier also, I think it's very interesting, I found, is that there's a mixture of service in this job. I mean, it's not a job, like you don't get a salary.
Yeah. No.
And you've been affiliated with the church since you, after grade 10, you went there, and you are not an ordained priest, as you said, but you are effectively, everything you do is in God's service or in some ways, right?
Yes.
So can you talk about how are you different as a principal, and how is the whole approach of St. George's different?
Yeah. See, for me, it is not a job. For me, it is a mission that I carry out. And as you said, we don't work for money, we don't work for salary. It is a service from my side for the society. Many people told me, you could have done that, you could have done this, many opportunities came my way. But the way I look at it is, because of me, if the society is benefiting, if children are being inspired to be a better human being, and if I can make a difference in their lives, I always will go for that. Money or fame or any other things is secondary to me when it comes to service and inspiring children to be better human beings and providing better citizens to the nation and the country and the world at large.
But I'm sure it must be like, with all these new schools opening in India, especially international schools, and everybody would want to poach the principal of St. George's, Missouri, for a very nice salary. I'm sure those temptations are there.
In fact, those temptations had always been there, but I had never been lured by any of those temptations, because for me, as I said, glow in the eyes of the children and many lives that I have been able to touch in my 22 years of teaching career has definitely left a mark in me.
Actually, we do have something for that. We have something to show you about some messages from people who've been impacted by St. George's, by you. So let's have a look.
Situated in the Queen of the Hills, apart from being just 400 acres of land and having state-of-the-art infrastructural facilities, St. George's College, Missouri is that place that every Manorite can look up to and say, Manor House, a home away from home.
Very few institutions can boast of a great legacy as St. George's College has. And this legacy is embedded in our school motto, Virtues at Labor, which means character and work. And that is what we all strive here for. Building men of character who will never shy away from working hard to achieve success in life. St. George's College focuses on the overall development of students by providing them with a host of activities apart from academics. The individuals from here, who are known as Manorites, are confident people, and they have done a lot for the society.
The thing that attracts me most to St. George's is the amazing community that we have here. The teachers are dynamic in their way of imparting education to all the students. Brother Tomy ensures that every student is developed in all possible ways, physically, intellectually, and creatively.
The one thing that I love about St. George's College is the positive academic atmosphere that we are provided with, which gives us the inner drive to strive for higher academic goals. And this is quite evident from the fact that year after year, the Missouri ICSC and IAC topper is always from St. George's. And this is because of the generous support that we are provided by our Honorable Principal, Brother Tomy.
Right from its inception in the year 1853, St. George's College has over the past 166 years stood out as an institution synonymous with excellence, a benchmark of totality and an embodiment of love and compassion. The aesthetic blend of old, world buildings and the new state-of-the-art infrastructure, the distinguished alumni, a dedicated panel of teachers, brilliant ISC, ICSC results, achievements in sports and other co-curricular activities contribute towards making St. George's a pedestal to true excellence.
If you ask me what is St. George's College, our motto, Virtues at Labor, speaks all about it. We don't believe in churning out children just for professional purposes. We are embedding children with character building. That is most important. If you speak to a young Manorite within the campus, you will find him very outspoken, very verbal about his idea. Along with that, he will have a global touch to him. Brother Tomy Varghese, our principal, If you ask me about Brother Tomy, he is a young, dynamic, a very yes mode principal. You approach him with any unique idea and he's always open for it.
I've been meaning to ask you this, and this is not just for St. George's, but for any boarding school. Do you think there is some special care a boarding school has to take? Because some of the kids, you start from grade 4?
4, yes.
Yeah,
4,
so there's
yes.
some very young, like less than 10 years,
9-year-old. Yes.
They're away from home,
Yes.
away from mom and dad.
Yeah.
Is it difficult for them, and how does the school make sure that, you know, they are emotionally okay, or they don't miss home, or they are fine and they can thrive, and what is your view on that?
In fact, if you look at, because I'm in the boarding for, in fact, this is my 11th year in the boarding school. We have another boarding school in South, in Ooty. There also I was for 5 years. I have seen the South and the North. What I have noticed is children adapt very quickly, especially when they are joining in class 4, 5, 6. Their adaptability is much better. 7th, 8th, when they join, it becomes slightly more difficult for them to adjust in a boarding school initially, because they have already learned certain habits. They had to break some of the routine habits that they have to adapt to a new situation. But the class 4, 5, 6, they might cry for a couple of days in the initial stages, and then they are overjoyed with the company that they get. In fact, these days, you know, most of the students, the children, they live in a flat or somewhere and they have no contact with anybody. They're only into the gadgets. I keep telling the parents also, what I observe these days is not so much about parting with the parents that pains them most. It is actually parting with the gadgets that pains them most.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because we don't allow gadgets.
Yeah, no, we don't allow gadgets on a regular basis. Of course, they have the flip book. They have that's only meant for studies. So they have all the study materials in the flip book. Plus they have a mobile phone, which they don't keep it always. It is kept with the dorm in charge, and they get it on a Sunday to call to their parents and to chat with their loved ones. On a Sunday, for 1 hour they get time.
Just 1 hour on
1
a
hour,
Sunday?
yes.
They get a phone for 1 hour a week,
1 hour
even
a
if you're
week.
grade 9, 10, 11?
Whichever class.
Wow.
From class 4 to 12, they get the same.
I wish my kids were listening to this.
Yes.
I think if I have to take the phone away from them for 1 hour every Sunday, that will be a big deal
In
for
fact,
them.
there are so many parents putting them in the boarding to take them away from the gadgets, because it has become an addiction. The world is going to see the implications of these addictions. We are seeing a lot of medical problems also because of these addictions. And that is one of the plus points of boarding schools, taking them away from the gadgets and getting them into the company of the rest of the students, and they play, they are into the field, they are physical exercises. We have compulsory physical exercises. In fact, what is most prominent in St. George's is campus run, that is known as Fox Hill Run. It is a traditional run. Every day they have to run 3 kilometers. 1.5 kilometers down the hill and 1.5 kilometers up the hill. They have to complete that race. We give them 15 minutes to complete that race. Some of them finish in 7 minutes, 8 minutes, and they keep, some of them make 2 rounds. Physical fitness we insist on, and gradually that becomes a habit. The fitness, though we have these days, we have Fit India movement and all that, but then St. George's had been doing this one for 166 years.
It's wonderful. It's been wonderful chatting with you and to learn so much about St. George's and how much thought goes into running a place like this. You just think it's that a big Harry Potter style castle somewhere, but but it is a school that is updated itself and kept itself relevant and remained a top school in the country. So congratulations on that. Definitely your hard work behind it. Thank you so much for coming. Before we end, we have a little tradition. I'll give you a little memento, and we take a picture for the picture wall there.
Okay.
So if you can just oblige me on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
St. George's mission is to develop young men with active and creative minds, a sense of wonder about the world, compassion for others, and the courage to act on their beliefs. It has truly been an honor to have St. George's College as a part of Education Evangelist of India. Thank you, Brother Tony, for joining us today. And join us next time as we bring to stage another celebrated educator of the country, and explore the latest developments in the world of education. Keep watching Skill Tree Education Evangelist of India, powered by Great Place to Study. I'm your host Chetan Bhagat, signing off for now.